Hey everybody, welcome to the real United States. And we are down here by the White House. We are on 15th Street. We can't be but a couple of hundred yards from the White House. And I wanted to bring you here to show you this very, very demure, simple, but almost invisible monument. Now this is the monument to the original 18 land patentees in Washington, D.C., the federal city, before 1700. This was placed here in 1936 on the 50th anniversary of the creation of the Daughters of the American Revolution, and they are the ones who are responsible for placing it here. Sorry about all the bus traffic, but if you've ever been on 15th Street, you know that just goes with the territory. Anyway, let's explain a few things. First of all, this is only a 7-foot tall monument. It's just a nice little square monument. The interesting thing about this, and I don't know that it's unique, but it is certainly rare, is that instead of being made of granite or marble or bronze, this is made of Indiana limestone, which I don't know why they chose that. In my opinion, it's a relatively poor material to make a monument out of because it degrades from the weather, geologically at least, relatively quickly. It's inscribed on 3 of the sides with an ear of corn, with the Potomac herring, and I'm trying to remember what the third one was. Oh, a turkey. So these were products that were commercial products in that era prior to 1700. Now, what is a land patentee? Okay, a land patent is a document given by a sovereignty, the sovereign nation, to an individual, granting them ownership of a piece of land. At the formation of our country, that was done by King of England, or in certainly other potentates who were granting land from the Netherlands or from France or whatever, but generally in this part of the country it was by the King of England, who would grant huge tracts of land to individuals, or, well, usually to individuals, and once you had the formation of the colonies. So after the American Revolution, the responsibility of granting land from the American government to individuals fell to the Department of the Treasury. But after the War of 1812, the General Land Office was created and took over that responsibility until finally, again, they were dissolved in the early part of the 20th century, and it fell to the Bureau of Land Management. Now, for those of you who own a house or own land, you probably in this country have title insurance, but you may have an abstracted title. If not, you certainly can go into the public records and look at this. And if you look back through the records, the very first document that you're going to find in an abstract is going to be the land patent. At one home that Beverly and I's first home that we bought many years ago. Actually, I wrote and ordered a copy of the land patent, which was signed by President John Tyler. No. President, Tyler. Yeah, not Taylor, Tyler. So it's kind of it's very formal, and by the presence here is all very elaborate looking document. But this is what conveys land basically from a government to an individual. Now, under American law, you can't grant land on a patent to a entity other than a private individual, such as a corporation, without an act of Congress. So there have been a few exceptions in the course of our history where by congressional act we've managed to have a land patent, such as in the development of our railway system way back when huge tracts of land were granted to the railways, these large right-of-ways, usually a mile either side of all land, a mile either side of the rail bed, was granted to the rail companies so that they would be encouraged to go ahead and build the railroad across America from the east to the west coast. But generally speaking, land patents would only go to individuals who then had ownership of the land, and then they would then subdivide it and were able to sell off and deed smaller tracts of land. So a little bit of, I don't know, real estate law you may not have known. And anyway, this thing is so simple, so demure. It's right here on the sidewalk. People are walking by it and they really don't even seem to notice that it's here. But it's inscribed with the names of the first 18 individuals who received the land patents inside of this 100 square mile area, which we know as Washington, D.C. today. Right here out in the open. So anyway, thought that was interesting. Hope you enjoyed this short visit to the memorial of the original patentees of Washington, D.C. If you got questions or comments, hey, leave them in the comment section down below. I love hearing from all of you. I try to get back to everybody I can. You want, just stop and say hi, whatever. I just love hearing from you. If you're new here, hey, pick subscribe, come along for the adventure, because we got lots more to show you. And as always, thank you for watching.